This is L.A. Reid on why the music industry may be lacking currently.
Right, and art. I think you and I talked about it. How many important boutique labels do we have that are black? Because that's where the community is built from, right? Right.
Absolutely.
You started at Blackground, right?
Yep.
Right.
Boutique.
Yeah.
A
Facts.
boutique, right? And an artist I had started at LaFay's, and there was Uptown artists, and there was Death Row artists, there was Motown
Andre
artists, and there
Harrell,
was Stax artists, and
Yeah.
there were like, and that was where black music was nurtured, curated, and
Developed.
and it wasn't, no disrespect to anybody, but it wasn't so much us asking for permission because people.
Before we keep going with that, because he's about to hit some very like interesting topics I want to discuss about. Like that is exactly what I was speaking about. Is that people need to start looking at like labels like a TDE, which is almost like a 1-to-1 these days in terms of industry, and see how they're developing artists, see how they keep winning and keep finding these new artists to put out on a consistent basis that have like this fan base that they can eat off of, that can carry their careers for years, if not decades. Why do their artists continue to work even though they might not have the biggest numbers, the biggest albums ever? But why are they able to still have like successful careers for years and years and years? Because they develop their artists, because they allow them to create music that is true to them so they can find their voice, find their image, and find their audience, instead of just getting one hot song and pumping it out to the masses to hopefully catch a widespread kind of wave, which the chances of failing on that are like exponentially higher than if you have a core fan base, then start branching out, or then start reaching out and like have those fans kind of advocate for you on your behalf. Perfect example of that, Kendrick Lamar. He was putting out project after project and was putting in the amount of work before he ever got a chance on Good Kid, Mad City for years. And by the time Good Kid, Mad City came around, he already had a very strong core fan base that had been screaming from the rooftops that this guy's next. He's the hottest in the game. You need to listen to Good Kid, Mad City. Like, he had people like promoting and advocating for him on his behalf because he built that following, because he built that kind of admiration and affiliation with a actual personal fan base, because he went through every single step of artist development. If he had immediately put out Good Kid, Mad City, or like did the things that like he did now, back then he wouldn't have been ready. But because he went through all the steps, all the hardship, all like from the house shows to openings to arenas to now stadiums, like that was a process. And that is what these big labels are no longer doing. They're just throwing money at whatever's hot, whatever's viral, and then hoping to cash out as quick and as much as they can. Why? Because in the long run, it's actually cheaper for them. Artist development is very hard, very expensive, and you might not be able to see any returns on it for years. Chaperone was years in the making. If she was with the label, they would have been dropped her, which I think they actually did. But because she stuck with it and found with her core base and kept building this artist, this brand that is Chaperone, look at her now.
But it looked like us were making those decisions.
And that is exactly what I was saying in terms of like, we are missing these labels. We are missing labels like a TDE, like he missed LaFace, like all these other Death Row, even like Bad Boy. Obviously, you can't say about it, but like Def Jam not really doing what they're doing. Like they're part of the machine at this point. Like we are missing those intermediate labels that are willing to put the time in to actually develop an artist, not just these giant houses that are just looking for a quick check.
Decisions, and look how different the industry looked then. So the moment we just talked about when we said Guy and Al B. Sure and Keith Sweat,
Yeah.
and Babyface, and Heavy D and the Boys, and I could keep going on and on. And Boys to Men, like, guys, those are black people making decisions about the music we heard on a national, international level.
Yeah.
That is all but dead. So if you look at the Grammy stage, what you see missing is people that look like us.
making decisions.
Deciding.
That's what's missing.
He smoked it.
Yeah.
And it's changed music.
He smoked it.
Because all the music decisions are now being made by mostly white men. So look at the stage. The artists are great, by the way. I love Chaperone. I fucking thought Benson Boone was incredible. I really
was.
did. I love the
He was.
artist, right?
He was great.
I really love Dolce, by the way. So,
She's great as well.
Right.
But even that,
She
But that's
fucking
black.
exception
But
to every
Dolce,
rule.
Dolce
That's black.
is also
Boutique.
from a boutique.
Thank you. That's Top Dog, right?
Yep.
Top Dog.
Thank you.
Top
Thank
Dog,
you.
Punch.
shout out to L.A. Reid.
I think he's
LA.
1,000%.
I think he's not 1,000% because he said the decisions are being made by white men. I think the decisions are being made by green. They looking at it's all just numbers now. That's all they care about. Is now it's let's put these people here because they tracking it.
It's not true.
Okay, I'm telling you what I think
But
about what he said.
the green is still being only looked at
It's
by
white
white
men.
men,
White
as
men.
opposed
White
to
men looking at the
as
numbers.
opposed to the artistry or as opposed to the actual quality of the music that's being judged by TDE. They are a prime example of the point that he's making. So yeah, the numbers are behind it, but the niggas that are able to put out the product is TDE. We see it all the time where SZA is arguing and all of the artists are arguing because they're not dropping frequently enough. If the white man was controlling that, they'll be pushing them niggas out the door because it makes more revenue.
Sometimes they make it obvious when a black person is involved in it. The pop-out show. Kendrick's pop-out show being on Amazon. I came in here and shouted out Tim. Tim at Amazon, salute, friend of the show. But Tim is a black man from Compton. Going in Amazon and saying, hey, y'all, look at this.
This is buzzing.
Look at this. It may only be buzzing here.
He also has a situation where, like I said, the show we talk about, the Kendrick show, the amazing show, is Amazon.
Which show is that you talking about?
It's the Paris show.
It's
that
one.
he
Got
did.
it.
Kendrick already has a relationship where I'm doing my shows with Amazon. So now if I'm doing a pop-out show, yeah, I'm going to do it through Amazon. That don't necessarily mean that this person, Tim, says, yo, this is the right thing to do to stream it here.
This situation
it says
is
we
already
got your stream.
got
I'm
you.
not streaming rights, but we got the situation over here. Let's work together.
It could go. It could go like that. It don't go like that, and that's what L.A. Reid is saying. It could go like that, but that's not what ends up happening. Even that Kanye, whatever that shit was, that what was that Kanye
Free Larry
shit?
Hoover
at
shit?
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Kanye and Drake.
I ain't talking about that. That's that J Prince shit. I'm not talking about that.
Because that was Amazon as well.
Damn, my mind. I'm getting old.
But even to Joe's point, we guessing and we are speculating, but the relationship with the dude Tim at Amazon might be the bridge.
New Joe Biden.
All right, so I mean, they had a whole lot of nothing there at the end, but I think the overall point is, while I agree with them to some degree in terms of like, yes, they don't have like certain people in the positions that they used to. It's equal parts. Like it's half the labels and like the executives, but it's also half the new artists coming out because it's been years and decades and like I don't even know how long this whole music industry has been going on, but it's been a very, very long time. Like the story of labels screwing over artists, not putting in the work, not developing people, just taking advantage of them has been going around for so long. So when it happens, it's not like even a surprise. It's like, even when I interview artists, it's like, all right, so tell me your label horror story. That's how prevalent it is in music. So it's not really a surprise. It's also on the artist. Are you willing to take the chance to pass up this immediate money and like control that you're giving up and go with this other label? Go with these smaller boutique people because they are out there. It's just harder for them to obviously compete with big companies that are throwing money. Obviously, everybody wants to make music and make money from their music, but are you willing to do the long process and look at the full picture and take the long, hard road to get to where you want and take that chance? Or are you going to take the immediate cash now? Because if you take the immediate cash now and then you look like, oh, I didn't get development, I get like, that's also on you. So I can't blame it 100% on labels because labels are doing what labels are built to do. And as labels are publicly traded companies these days, they're always going to be risk adverse because all they want to see is that dollar sign, that dollar price on their property, their investment going up. They don't care about how they get there. They just want to see it go up. So if it costs more money to develop an artist that, you know, always has a chance to fail, even if you do the proper development, or you can sign 20 sexy reds, cash out in 2 or 3 years, and make as much money as you can, and still own their catalog, which route are you going to go? I mean, to me, it just makes sense. And it's something I've been talking about for like a long time in terms of like the music industry. It's like, it's very simple. They want the most cash as possible because they no longer make money off music. They don't. They make a small amount of money they used to in terms of like CD presses, vinyls, and everything else. So they're going to try to get in for as cheap as possible and take as much as they can. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, there's like 1 million plus songs being uploaded every few hours. There's somebody else out there.